Hello, this is Dan, and I'm your Math 063 elementary. I'll let you know a little bit about myself. I call this as week 0, and we're going to be starting full blown. Hopefully, everybody's up and running by this Friday, May 25th. So, this is me, Dan, and this is my wife, Sarah, and this is my oldest son, Gavin, who's going into 5th grade next year. Kaylin is going into 3rd grade next year, and Jensen will be starting kindergarten. So there's going to have their last day of school tomorrow for this year, and looking forward to having some time with them this summer. I also work part-time in distance education. If you scroll down here, it's got my contact info, and they call me a faculty liaison. That's right here. So I help faculty learn how to use technology and learn new things myself, and that's another component I have besides teaching math face-to-face and online full-time at DMAC. So this is I'm just completing my 8th year at DMAC, and I've been teaching online for several years. And this course I have taught face-to-face and online several times before, and trying to get better at it every semester. So hopefully we have a very good experience. There is a small section. I think as of today, there's only like 8 to 10 students signed up for this class. So I hopefully will give you a lot of individual attention and help answer any questions you have, either through email and a virtual session that we'll host every Tuesday night or any other time that works for you. So also, I got this other picture. We took an Old West picture, so there's my our mean funny picture, case there's me and my posse. So we thought that would be something, I don't know, just to show we're not just totally a math guy. I got a family, and that learning is fun, but I do want to motivate you to do well this summer. So whatever I need to do to help you, just don't hesitate to contact me. So we're going to go through a few things here. I'm going to start right now on every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. If you go under the tools area here, and if we scroll down to the WizIQ virtual classroom, this is going to be a synchronous session we're going to have every Tuesday night. So if you just go to tools, WizIQ virtual classroom, and then what you'll see there is a list of virtual sessions. It's kind of like a webinar, or it's got a virtual classroom where there's a whiteboard chat, and you should be able to hear me, and you can also chat there. You don't need a microphone, but you will need speakers. And I'm just going to go ahead and schedule the class right now. So when you come in here, you'll just see any sessions I've set up. You just click enter, and if it's past the session, you can always look at the past ones, and then you can watch the recording of them. So let's say somebody has some questions about how to graph a line, or how to solve a basic equation or something like that. That's things we can work on synchronously and right on the whiteboard. So I'm just going to go ahead and schedule the class real quick here. So every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. So I'm just going to call it online office hour. It's going to be scheduled for the 22nd at 9 p.m. And I'll make it go for an hour, but we can go longer if needed. And it's going to be 60 minutes. And it's going to have webcam and audio, and I am going to record that session. So there we go. I just set up our first online office hour. And I do require, and so when you get there, you'll just hit the enter class button. What I do require from you is to get to at least one online office hour before the 4th week, just so you know how to use the system and you feel comfortable with it. And I do grade that a little bit. So just want to make sure, and on your syllabus quiz, which I'm going to go under course content now. Under course content, here's the folders. We're going to have, we're going to use a software called Alex. It's ALEKS.com, alex.com, and you'll see a lot of that information in the syllabus here, how to get started there, and I'm going to show you a little bit on this video. So if we go to the Start Here folder, this kind of describes what you're supposed to do week 1, how to get into Alex. Here's a PowerPoint showing you how to get into Alex. I'm going to briefly go through that as well. So discussion board to introduce yourself to the rest of the class. And then here's the syllabus quiz. And on the syllabus quiz, you're going to tell me what's a good time for me to call you, because I like to call you this first week or two. And also if the Tuesday night at 9 o'clock is not going to work ever, to suggest another time for us to set up an online office hour, just so you can experience it and know that it's there, so I can help you one-on-one or as a small group to get through some of the material that you may not understand. So we've got lots of ways to communicate, but we're going to have this discussion board to introduce yourself right away. You can take the syllabus quiz and get some information, and then the syllabus obviously is right here on the left side. It says syllabus, and then here is the PDF of it, and then I've just got the calendar only broken out in case you just want to jump to see what we're doing every week. So if we go here, here's the syllabus, and you can print that out if you'd like. So right here it's got the instructions on how to do ALEKS, and here's our course code right there. And you do get 2 weeks of free access, and so you can actually just highlight that and just copy that code. And copy that, and then go to aleks.com, which I'm going to just click. I'm just going to go there. So here's ALEKS, and it says to just hit, if you've never used ALEKS before, you just hit the sign up now button. And then since you are we're in higher ed, so just going to put our course code, which was right here. Sorry. I'll scroll back up here. So, oops, that's the wrong one. Sorry. I'll go back to the syllabus here. Syllabus. So our course code is this one right here. So that's at YEKEG. So I'm just going to copy that. Go over here to ALEKS, paste that. And then I'm going to get the second part of it, which is right here, this EWTGW. Copy that. Make sure I didn't get anything else in there. Looks good. And if I hit continue, it should find our section. So there we are, Math 063, Summer 2012, Professor Petrock. There we go. And if we hit continue, then you're going to have an access code, and that's where you can use this right here. So if you copy that access code, you'll get 2 weeks of free access, and then before the 2 weeks is up, you'll need to enter a code that you've either purchased directly through their site or from the DMACC bookstore. So there is no paper-bound text needed for this class. You'll just need this access code because the paper-bound text is an ebook, and it will be embedded into the ALEKS website. So there's the website, there's our course code, and there's what we call the financial aid code, which will get you the 2 weeks of access, and you'll end up with 18 total weeks of access with this, which means you'll even have some time after the course is over if you want to continue into this course or even any class I can put you into, and it doesn't cost you any extra. And I believe it costs around $85 for access for the course. So I'm going to go back to, so hopefully that kind of shows you a little bit with ALEKS. We go back to course content. So obviously we're going to start here. And under ALEKS, after you take the initial assessment, there's going to be all these pieces of pie that we look at. And these are at each, there's arithmetic, real numbers, linear equations, functions, exponents and polynomials, and rational expressions. So these are like the big areas. They're all kind of mathy terms. But what I've done here is I've put help. That can help over many of the topics in there. And if you send me questions or I see people are struggling with certain topics, I may point you to one of these folders. And there's videos, notes, games, other things in there that can help you along your way. And then we're going to have projects. There's going to be 4 projects to do, and I'll talk more about that when I post my weekly videos. Usually every Friday is kind of what I'm going to call the beginning of our week is Fridays, and we're going to go from Friday to Thursday as a typical week. So this Friday, the 25th, I'll give you a little more information about the projects, but there's 4 of them to do, and they're every 2 weeks they are due, and then you can submit them and then keep reworking them until you get 100%. And then questions. So If you have any questions, you can post them here on the discussion board. And questions about ALEKS or projects or technology or anything else, we can add anything you want there. But honestly, email is probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. These are good things to pose to the class. So we've got, there we go, our start here, and that's where we're going to begin this week. We got our learning aids here, we've got our projects, and you're going to go out to ALEKS, make sure you sign up and take your initial assessment on that. So a lot to do, but we don't have a hard deadline really, because on ALEKS you are required to put at least 6 hours a week in on ALEKS, and you'll see when you take your syllabus quiz, you're supposed to tell me, essentially what hours can you work on this course. And honestly, for a 10-week class, you're going to need about 8 hours per week minimum to do everything needed in the class. So hopefully you're going to have to find scheduled time to do that. So as long as you can find 8 hours a week or more to work, I think you'll be very successful. The great thing about ALEKS is it places itself based on what you know and don't know. So you won't have to do any assignments or things that really aren't, as far as your skill building, that's not related to what your ability is. So that's really neat. It customizes the learning to you. And so that 6 hours a week will be graded. And I encourage you to just take a look at the syllabus and go through all the types of grading. But usually the big part that everybody wants to see is, what's going to be evaluated. So there's the homework time. The 6 hours a week is 360 points. Projects, 140. And then mastery of what percent mastery you have. So like by the end of week 2, we'd like to see 30% mastery, and then 50%, and then our goal is to get to 90% by the end of the course. And you get evaluated every 2 weeks on that. And then we have a comprehensive final, and that's about it. So we lean heavily on ALEKS to do a lot of our skill building. We do the projects to do some connected learning and application. And my job is to help you through all of that, and we're going to be doing that through synchronous communication on WizIQ, and asynchronous communication with discussion boards and email. And I'll be talking to all of you hopefully this first week or two over the phone. And just again, want to welcome you to the class. I think if you're willing to work hard, I've seen students grow tremendously and have great success. But the key is, you have to have a willingness to work and make sure you're able to get online and do your due diligence to be successful. So I'll be shooting you emails and announcements, and we'll have our next update video on this Friday the 25th. Have a great one.